Hello everyone and welcome to another video. Today I wanted to do a quick video on how someone who has Excel or who wants to start using Excel or Google Sheets for budgeting. I want to do a quick overview on how you can get started. I'm not an Excel expert whatsoever, but I know the basics and I currently use Excel for my own budgeting needs and it works perfectly. I'm also working on my 2020 template, so I'll be sharing more videos later on, but let's just get started. So the first tip I want to give here is you'll notice that this says sheet 1 down here at the bottom left. Now you can add multiple sheets by just hitting the add icon here, and if you click on sheet 1, right click, rename, you can rename it to whatever you want. So you could do month, August, September, October, November, December. This would be considered a one workbook. So you would save this as maybe your 2019 budget and then create another separate one for 2020. So that's the first tip there. We're going to start on the August 2019 template here. And so I'm just going to start adding income, savings, expenses, and possibly debt. So these are just main categories that I think a lot of people use. I'm going to zoom in here a little bit so you guys can see clearer. But I'm adding it just in this format so you guys can see it in all one page versus me having to scroll down and show you. You can do it however you want, but this is just for the video. So I'm going to start with income and I'm just going to put me and spouse. So in this example, we're going to use fixed income. So I'm going to say paycheck 1, let's do paycheck 1 then. Paycheck 1, paycheck 2. And let's say I get paid twice a month. And like I said, we're on fixed income, so we know exactly what we get each paycheck. But let's just say maybe my spouse gets paid 3 times a month, so paycheck 3. Now you'll notice that the word doesn't actually fit in the cell, so you could always come up here between B and C, and then when you see the black cross with 2 arrows, you double click and it'll adjust itself. So here we're going to put some examples, so let's just make numbers a bit easy here. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to add these are fake numbers, but let's just say we make, right? Actually, I had said that I only get paid twice a month. So what we can do here is make it into currency, as right now they're just regular numbers. So you would highlight a section that you wanted currency, and then you hit the little dollar sign up here. So boom. So now it's actually currency format. So what you could do is you could add these down here so you can see what what we each make total. So I'm going to click on 1,000, drag the other 1,000, and then drag it to the cell that I wanted to add. So it's going to add in this cell here. I'm going to go up to the right corner where it says auto sum and click, and you'll notice that it'll add it for you. Okay. You can make this bold if you want it to stand out. Okay. Now let's just say I want to know the overall total per month. Okay, I'm going to double click here so it fits. And then what I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit equal on my keyboard, click the first total cell I wanted to add the plus sign on my keyboard, and then add the next cell and hit enter. So you will notice that it tells me that we will bring $5,000 this month. Okay, so now let's go down to savings. So savings can be, it's different for everyone. Some people like to call them sinking funds. You could have a separate section for sinking funds if, I don't know, maybe some people keep savings and sinking funds separate, but this is what I normally do is just the savings section, and I have a few savings accounts that I guess you could consider sinking funds. but I'm just going to do 3 for now. And so with savings, what you could do if you wanted to, the same with income, you just need to kind of play around with your formatting and the kind of information that you want to see on your budget. But let's just say I'm going to budget and then compare it to my actual. So let's say I like to budget 100 for each account a month, maybe. I'm going to highlight, so all of these are currencies again. And then if we go to expenses, I'm going to bring it over here, actually, so it's closer. And if you hit Control X, it'll cut it, and then Control V, it'll paste it where you want it. So expenses, we're just going to do a few here: water, cell phone, car insurance, and what else? Car insurance. Let's just say food. So again, you can always play with the font, the font size, font type, or the coloring of each cell. So in this case, just to make things stand out, I'm going to make some of these, main categories different colors so that they stand out. Here we go. And then again, like I said, you could change the size of it by going up here, or the font style up there. Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing with budgeting here. So I'm going to budget, let's do 1500. Let's do 150 for water. I'm just making up some numbers here so that for the purposes of the video, I'm going to make these currencies again. So currency and actuals, and then same for debt. So let's say I have student loans and a credit card that I need to pay off. So budget, I'm going to budget, let's say my minimum is 400 and my minimum for this is 300. So just setting up budgets here. Now I'm going to go back and add the totals for all of them. So you'll see totals, totals, totals. And again, you can go back and bold these if you like. Okay, so now what you're going to do here, or what I like to do, is I like to do an overall. So overall, and kind of see the big picture. So I'm going to show income. I want to see how much savings, total-wise, expenses, and debt. And then, I'm just going to put leftover. So here I'm going to hit equal and then go to the cell where it has the total. So for each one, so equal for savings, the total is here. Equal for savings, the total is here. Equal for debt, and total is here. Now this would be now considered my budget section, right? Because these are all what I'm budgeting for each section. Then I'm going to hit equal this cell minus this cell, and the minus is just on your keyboard, and you hit enter. So it tells me that this, I have 1550 left over. Now if you do zero-based budgeting, you could continue to play around with your numbers until you hit 0. So let's say I'm gonna, add a little more to each of my saving. Now that I know that I have 1500 left over budget-wise, I'm going to continue to add to some categories that I want to maybe save more money or pay down more of the debt that we have. So let's just say it like that. So you'll notice that it'll automatically calculate as you change the numbers, because these are now formulated or they're linked to the numbers, to the total numbers, and these are linked to the numbers. They calculate based on the numbers. So again, like I said, if you wanted to continue until you hit 0, you could do that if you're a zero-based budgeter. Now let's just do that. So you'll see that I have 300 left over in this case. Now you can do actual. So you can do the same thing for actual. Go back in here, maybe we did save it all here, let's just say, right? Especially for your variables, let's see, like for example, maybe water is based on usage and we actually were under. Let's just say cell phone are usually the same, car insurance is usually, and then maybe food we went over. So let's add these up, and then you would do the same thing like I mentioned with, let's say I actually got all this, and then just do the same thing you did with budget. So because we're on a fixed income, it's always going to be the same there. That, and then equals to this equals that cell, and this equals this cell. And then I'm going to hit equal actual income minus the actual savings that we did and actual expenses, and then minus the debt, and you're going to hit enter. So you'll see that I now have 210 left over. So again, everyone budgets differently. You know, maybe I like to keep a little cushion for the next month because some of our billing dates are a little awkward when it comes to when we get paid. And so again, this is just a quick tutorial that I wanted to do. Let's see, I think the last thing I guess I'll cover is what I like to do, and it just helps me visually. I like to see things a little more clean, is maybe you like to border these up. So if you click on this section, for example, you can come up here, hit the arrow sign down, and click all borders. And you could do that for each section like this. I like to do this. It just makes it look a little more legit for me. And then again, you can go back and bold things. You can actually change the color of the borders as well. I like to usually go a little lighter so it's a little softer. So if I go back to that section, go to line color and then hit maybe a gray, you're just going to hit it one more time and you'll notice that this border is a lot lighter than this border. What else? That's, I guess, a good quick overview. I suggest, you know, spending some time setting it up for yourself. If it's easy, I know that a lot of people use a lot of tools online out there, and if that's easier for you, if this scares you, if this, you know, makes you not like budgeting, then obviously you wouldn't do Excel. But I like to play with numbers. I like Excel. You know, numbers are my thing. So I started with Excel and I love it. So that's that. So I guess I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.